How's your melon smelling, Helen? We'll be into that in a second. I'll be talking about that little statement. Right now, we got Melon Bank, yes, one with 50 trillion under custody, just launched an on-chain data services for Ethereum. And guess who's their first client? BlackRock. Institutions aren't coming, they're already here. Meanwhile, Bitcoin's funding rates are suggesting that the marketplace is short. And are we about to catch everybody off guard? Welcome back, Crypto Crew. It's your boy Tom here, bringing you the hottest in Bitcoin and crypto action. If you're ready to dive into today's action, please give us a like. Make sure you hit subscribe. And don't forget to come on over to X and follow us on X, where we talk about Bitcoin and crypto all day, every day. All right, let's get into it. I mean, Bitcoin's been a little bit boring the last week or so, but we just got to hang tight. Okay, there's a lot of things that are going on in the background. We're going to catch this marketplace by the short hairs and offsides. And I'm going to be talking about Melon Bank and that little statement that I made earlier today to give you a little bit of background on that silly term that I just used. But Melon Bank and myself go back, way back, and actually it was back into the 1990s, so I'm kind of showing my age. But anyway, overall market overview. Bitcoin's expected to break above 87,000, 86,500, potentially triggering a huge short squeeze and a major upside reversal. We've been waiting for that for the longest time. Now, I want to just jump over to Ethereum. Ethereum is really heavily oversold. It's currently grabbing liquidity on the bottom side, and we're going to have a move that's going to probably mirror Bitcoin's 2020 setup before its massive bull run. Ethereum is undervalued. If you look at the weekly, we're way undervalued. You know, we're looking at the RSI stochastic chart here. It's undervalued. But anyway, I want to go on to one thing also here. I want to talk about Bitcoin's hashtag rate. The price, the growth actually suggests that price action is about to follow the bullish momentum that's loading. Okay, so I mean, it's here. Now we have to come on over to good old funding rates. Okay, right now we have negative funding rates of flashing. Now, those historically signal a bottom. Okay, so right now, everything is pointing to everybody off sides in this marketplace. Now, it doesn't mean that we can't drift lower. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that we can. But as the market gets lulled into sleep, this is where the massive reversals could take place. So we got to be on our toes, constantly watching. And we're going to get into that in a moment. But really, what we want to look at also here is CoinGlass bull market peak indicators, 0 of 30, nada. Okay, none of the bull market peak indicators have signaled. So we got global liquidity that we've been talking about is rising. U.S. inflation has dropped harder than expected, signaling and increasing the likelihood of a rate cut and a potential rocket booster for the crypto markets. Now, really, there is that big, rift between Trump and Jerome Powell. Okay, this is a political stunt being played by the Fed. They're trying to stick it to Trump administration. They really want. I believe that they're more concerned about making a political point than they are about the markets, and that's not a very good thing. So that's just my opinion on things, and you take it for what it is. But let's go on over to the good old 4-hour chart. We're watching a bullish pen form, though it hasn't broken out just yet. Okay, short-term pressure is mounting as retail traders, I believe, are getting lulled into complacency. It's a classic trap formation. Now, if we come on over to the good old daily charts, all right, on the dailies, this is what's going on. Bitcoin's been wrestling with a downward momentum for about 81 days, 81 days right now. And really, it's flirting right now with the critical EMA ribbons right in this area right here. The coin itself, it needs to break above 87,000 like 300, like right around here. It's got to break that 87,003. That would be the first indication on the dailies that we're making a move. Now, so EMA resistance is at 87,003. The first step is to hold strong above 87,003. Break that, and we're looking for a move to that 91,000, 92,000 psychological level. And then that all important 95,000. We got a lot of wood to chop. I mean, look at these ribbons here. Look how tight they are here. Okay, we need to get through that. We need to get through that. We need to flip these ribbons upward. Eventually we will, once the marketplace price action dictates it. And retail is not helping us right now because they're just all scared. They're all scared. They basically don't want to commit either way. So, first step, hold above 87,003. Break that. We're looking at a move above the EMA ribbon, signaling the continuation to 95,000, possibly psychological 100,000 level and beyond. Now, let's get over to the weekly chart. Let's move over to the weekly. All right. Where's my weekly chart? There's my weekly chart. Okay. On the weekly chart, away from the short-term noise, Bitcoin is repeating the same exact setup that led to 12 straight green candles last cycle. Okay. I mean, it's just repeating the same setup. Okay. It's the same structure, same breakout signs. This might be just the last easy entry. Now, what's your next move in this? Drop your comment in the below if you dare to trade naked, to put your name on something that's there forever, like we do every day. Go ahead. Come on. Trade in your underwear naked. Let's do it. All right. Join the group. Okay. Now, before we break it down and break out of this, I want to make sure that I point to what we got going on. I want to tell you, Crypto Crew, about our trading community. So if you click the link here, you'll be taken over to this site where it's completely free to join. There's nothing, there's no there's no traps, no secrets looking for your money in any way. We basically are just looking to have you join our trading community, and we're dropping insane alpha and trading opportunities daily, from breakout setups to long-term gems. We got you covered. You want to follow trades with a solid broker? We suggest that you click on this link right here. Check out our trusted broker, low fees, fast execution, and perfect for our strategy. Join the crew, level up your trading, and let's stack profits and wins together. All right, let's get back to Ethereum. All right, because this one I think is the sleeper. I mean, we've talked about global liquidity for I don't know how long. Money supply all-time highs, U.S. inflation's cooling. But there's one hurdle, like I said, the political rift between Powell and Trump. It's keeping the Fed hawkish for now. Now, once the U.S. cuts rates, okay, Bitcoin and altcoins could explode. And here's where it gets spicy, all right? This is where it gets spicy. This is where I was talking about how's your melon smelling, Helen. Back in the 90s and like late 80s, 90s, okay, we used to trade constantly with Mellon Bank. And anytime that I tagged Mellon Bank with a good trade, whereas, I hit them and the marketplace actually moved straight down, I would actually call the chief dealer up, Craig, and I'd say to Craig, how's your melon smelling, Helen? And I would hang up the phone on him, right? And anytime he tagged me, he would call me and go, hey, this is Melon Bank calling. Is Tom available? Tom's available. He's right here. Hey, what's up, Craig? My melon is smelling pretty nice today, isn't it? And then he would hang up on me. So that's where that came from. The how's your melon smelling, Helen? Where we came up with that term, absolutely don't know. Very, very immature of us. But anyway, it still sounds good to this day. But anyway, here's where it gets spicy. We're looking at being Bank of New York Mellon, okay, is what? It's with over 50 trillion under custody, just launched an on-chain Ethereum analytics. Their first client, BlackRock. Okay, so the institutions are already here. They're building, they're preparing. This is not just, it's not just nonsense. We see that Ethereum is oversold. We've been talking about that. And there's accumulation. It's a heavy accumulation on the weeklies. All right. So, and also if you look at the Ethereum Bitcoin ratio, which I don't have a chart up right now, but you could just trust me or just go put it up yourself. We're going to see signs of an emerging catch-up rally. So long-term forecast remains solid with price targets between 5,500 at first, then 8,000 and potentially 15,000 as regulatory clarity improves and layer 2 adoption expands. And you see layer 2 adoption expanding right there. Look, You could be a sheeple, you could be fearful, or you could start to stack coins, in my opinion. In my opinion, okay, do your own research. Make sure that you trade, don't trade with the rent money, trade with money that you can afford to take a hit in the face with, okay? That's the name of the game in trading. Market doesn't care about what you want. It rewards you for what you know, and we're trying to give you some good information here. So, long-term forecast remains solid, like we said, between 5,500, 8,000, potentially 15,000. So that's it, crew. That's up. That's today's update. I wish you all a happy Easter if you're celebrating. And remember, always, 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 if you like what you see and got value, smash the like button. Drop your comments on Ethereum. Trade naked. Come on, man. Put the nads on the table and make a prediction. What the heck? You only live once, right? YOLO, baby, YOLO. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like our videos, share them far and wide. Remember, always, always trade with your head, not over it. Do your own research. And as a short-term trader, enjoy the party, but dance near the door. Cheers.